All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let me click in here. Looks like we've got a few people on. Let me go ahead and kick this thing off. So thank you for joining Solo. Thank you for joining us for the live training. What we're going to do today is we're going to spend less time on the platform itself and more time in the proposal so we can highlight some of the new tools that we've built to make selling virtually a bit easier. So let me put a new link up here. So again, thank you all for being here. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. So if we're looking at this screen here, we'll notice that this is our kind of login screen. So we've got company owner up here, and we've got it displayed on dark mode. Now, if you're a new rep or a rep that hasn't used Solo before, you can click on this down arrow and actually toggle between light mode or dark mode as you wish. We'll operate in light mode for this. I feel like it's a bit easier just to kind of see the screen as I'm trying to show you some of the features. I usually operate in dark mode, but we'll do light mode so we can see things a bit clearer. If you are new, you can also click on this and click on profile, and this is going to let you actually change your first name, last name, email, add email and phone number. You can change those things. I would always suggest having a good phone number in the system. That phone number is how proposals, once they're ready, will be texted to you. So you'll get text a link that says, your proposal is ready for John Smith, and you'll be able to click on that and enter it in and then go to that proposal. So really quick, what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and go through kind of a request process so we can cover that really quick for how to request a proposal. A couple things to keep in mind when requesting proposals is that you want to make sure that you have all the information you need to request that proposal. So a utility bill, customer information, address, all those bits are what you're going to need to be able to request that proposal. Without that, it likely won't be that accurate. And what will end up happening is you'll have to either adjust a bunch of things in the proposal or you'll have to request a revision. What we want to do is make sure that these are coming out accurate from the start, instead of having to go back and kind of redo anything. If we click on new customer up here toward the top left, this is going to take us to our customer request screen. We can see here it's a pretty simple process. Step 1, we're going to enter customer info. Step 2, we're going to confirm the location of the customer's house. And then step 3, we're going to upload or enter the utility information. So we'll start with the step 1. There's not too much to explain here. It's just some basic test information. We'll put test, put a phone number in here, and put an email in here. Now, a couple things about this is this phone number and this email, they're going to be pulled into the proposal itself so that you're able to quickly share this proposal with the customer. It is worth your time to make sure that these are right from the start and you don't have to go back and fix them later. Just looks a little bit better too when the customer gets their proposal and all their information is correct. So make sure that's correct when you're putting it in there. The next little bit, we'll do 123 Sample Street. We'll be in, let's try Ogden, Utah, see what happens there. So we'll go ahead and put all this information in. Once again, you're going to want to make sure that this is accurate. Now, if it's not the end of the world. You can always go back into the customer profile and you can edit this information on the profile, which will in turn edit it on the proposal. But I always say it's better to do it right the first time than to do it twice. So I would suggest just making sure this all looks nice and neat before you submit it. That way it shows up nice and neat for the customer and you don't have to worry about going back and changing anything post-proposal creation. Once we've got all this information in, go ahead and click on next. Let's see where this drops us. Oh, in the middle of nowhere. Let's see where we're at. Okay, it's kind of dropped us over there in the mountain. Let's choose somewhere over here in Washington Terrace. So what we'll do here is this will allow us to, all we're doing here is just choosing the right house to install on. So we can see here we've got a bunch of houses pictured. All we're doing on this screen is simply clicking on the rooftop that corresponds with our house. So we'll click on this rooftop here. And that's all this screen is doing. We're just clicking on the right rooftop so that we design on the right house. That's it. That's all this screen is doing. So we'll go ahead and scroll down and click on next. The third and final screen for uploading or entering utility information. Now this is a very important screen because this is going to be the usage that we read to create that proposal for your customer. So the more accurate this will be or can be, the more accurate your proposal will be. The first section you'll see here is for uploading usage. And there's not, kind of like a silver bullet for this, but we've put in a number of options, and you'll just want to work with your sales manager or company owner to see which option is the best for your company. We have it kind of divided between good, better, and best. So we'll start at the top with the best method. The best method is if you know the actual usage month by month, you can click into these bubbles and you can put in the exact amount of usage month by month. So that's going to be the best way to do it. What we'll do on the back end is we will pair that usage up with our database that has that usage information in there, and then we'll be able to pull the rate plans, energy usage, kind of the rest of that information. So we will pull everything else from that once you put that in there. So adding the usage month by month is going to be your most accurate. The next best method is this upload utility bill section. This is a really great section. I always call it a time saver. So what you're able to do is you are able to click upload, hit choose file. And then when you click choose file, you should be able to take a picture of the bill if you're on mobile, or you can just upload it if you're in a computer. That's going to be really your biggest thing. What we can do then is we can look at the usage or the history on that on that utility bill, and then we can upload that into our system on your behalf. So like I was saying, it's a bit of a time saver, and it'll save you that time that you would typically spend to upload all that information yourself. And so it just kind of saves you time there. So you'll want to make sure that you upload the utility bill, and then we'll pull out usage. Your next two methods for enter yearly usage or enter average monthly bill. Now these are obviously not going to provide you with a 100% accurate month by month peek into the customer's consumption. But what this does is this allows you to get a proposal, and then you're able to adjust these in the proposal in real time with the customer. So the idea behind these two would be to enter the yearly usage and then be able to go in and edit this in the proposal when you're with the customer and get their actual usage. So these are just a great way to start so that you can get something to take to the customer to start pitching them on. You can put 12,000, you can put 13,000, 8, 9, 10,000, whatever you want to put. Just put in some kind of annual usage, and then we will make that a nice curve based upon what typical usage is in their area, reported from NREL. Last but not least, you have your average monthly bill. I'm sure all of you know there's a number of customers and companies that will just say, customers that will just say, I don't know how much I use, but I know that it's about $100 a month. So you can just type in $100, and then we will figure out how much energy that would buy them in their area, and then we will go ahead and make the proposal based on that assumed usage. The next few options, you have your real-time and your next day options. Real-time, this is going to kick a proposal back to you within 10 minutes or less. Next day is going to kick a proposal back to you within 24 hours or less. The most important thing about both of these to remember is that there is a price difference between the two. So only use real time when you absolutely need it. That would be an appointment within the next day or a little bit. It will come back, like I said, within 10 minutes, so it is pretty quick. The next day, if you've got time to wait, I always suggest doing the next day. Makes it a bit easier on your company. But once again, you'll want to talk with your owners or sales admins to see what they prefer that you do. Next option is your utility company. This list will always correspond with the state that you selected in step 1 when you entered in the customer's address. So make sure you're paying attention to that and just enter in the utility company that the company is using. Next, you have this selector. This will let you choose between a percentage offset or a max offset. I personally would always recommend just choosing max offset, because that allows you the most flexibility when you're on the proposal to be able to edit and change things how you wish. Last but not least, you've got your lead type, the county the customer lives in, and then notes. With every company that we bring on board, what we do is work with the owners to create a system or a list for a rule book on design practices and best practices, design guidelines, whatever you'd like to call it. And what we do is we program those into each account so that when you request a proposal, that proposal comes back accurate to what your owner wanted. And so with notes, what you're able to do is you are then able to enter in any specific or extra notes for that customer specifically, and so that we can take that into account if we're designing in any kind of unique or one-off situation. So once you've got all your notes in there, you would then click submit, and that would create a proposal for you, and that would put you on the customer screen. That will look exactly like this, and you will see urgent checked because I chose real time, and then obviously new customer created successfully. And then I can minimize this sidebar if I wanted and see that I've got all the customer's information in here. I've got their house tagged, and now I would just be waiting for a proposal. When the proposal is ready, you will get a text to your phone if you have that phone number linked up, or you'll get an email, and then you'll be able to click back into this portal, into the customer's name, and then over here on the left-hand side, you'll have this proposals tab. If you hover your mouse over this section anywhere, it will open it up. You'll click on proposals, and then you'll see here, it will tell you who made your proposal on the Solo team, when it was made, the proposal ID, and then over here you have view. If you click on view, that's going to open up that proposal for you in another window, and you'll be able to see that proposal, access that proposal, change it however you want. Keep in mind as well that there are, down below the video, there is some information on how to request, or excuse me, how to ask a question. So feel free to go ahead and fill out that question form, and then what we'll do is at the end, we'll go ahead and get to any questions. You can also just chat in the feed as well, and I'll be able to read those right after this, and we can answer any questions, do kind of a live Q&A at the end of the training. With this, perfect, let's make sure actually, it says it can't connect to chat, so use that form if you wouldn't. I'm not sure what YouTube has going on right now. Let's see. It looks like the chat's already out. So go ahead and use the form in the video description. So now that we're on the proposal, and keep in mind is that this proposal may look different than what your company proposal looks like. So each company has the ability to edit things. They can turn features on and off. They can edit images, logos, all that stuff. So your proposal will be particular to your company as per your owner specifications. But we will cover most of the basic features in here and just kind of show you all the things that you can edit and change. So first things first, one of the most important things is up here in this top left, you've got a live chat. And this is the same live chat that's here in your customer information screen. If we click on this arrow over here, we see this chat. And we'll notice that this chat is exactly the same as this chat. So this just links it. That way, if you're accessing this from a CRM or SalesRabbit or something else, you can quickly access this chat without having to log into Solo or any other platform. In the top right, where you have this 3-bar hamburger menu, you're able to see all the different tools that we can use to adjust the proposal. So all of these tools and learning how to use them will be very vital in that sales experience, both for you and for your customer. So we'll scroll down here to our first section. We see here it says your solar design. This is going to be our solar design. So this will be for this customer. This is the panels on their roof and what it would produce. And we can see directly beneath this, we have our system size, our estimated yearly production, the modules we're currently using, and then the inverter we're currently using. Now, as I said before, Solo is a very dynamic tool, so everything realistically is able to be changed in the proposal in real time. The idea behind that is to be able to give your customer exactly what they need when you're in the house pitching them. We know today things are a little bit different given the coronavirus and what's going on with that, so we know that we're doing a lot of virtual sales. So what I want to do is show you a new feature that we're rolling out to help with kind of virtual selling and everything else. And I'll show you that first, that way it makes sense kind of as we go through the whole proposal. So the present, if we click on this, typically, as you know, or if you're new to Solo, if you know what this does, you know, it just shares the link. If you're new to Solo, what this does is this will let you just copy this link to a clipboard and be able to, you know, put that link anywhere you want. Or you can click send email or send text, and it will just send your customer an email or a text immediately with this proposal link. Excuse me. The biggest thing about this link, though, is that it will be a locked link that they're not able to edit. What we're doing now is kind of our Solo Live is we're linking up your proposal that you would use to pitch and the customer's proposal that they would view, so that any change you make in real time on this proposal here, without refreshing or changing anything on the customer's end, the customer will see those changes in real time. So to repeat, what we're going to do is we're going to enable this presentation mode. We're going to copy this link, and then what I'm going to do is open up a new tab. We're going to paste it in there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pull this over. And to kind of show you what I mean, we can see on this proposal that I don't have that hamburger menu in my top right. I don't have the chat menu in my top left. You know, I can toggle sunlight on and off, but I can't do anything else. Everything's locked. I'm not able to change consumption, so everything's pretty much locked for me. I can't change adders. But what this does is now, say I come into my solo proposal, and we're looking at this house here. Now, right now, as you can see on this proposal, I'm using 47 LG320 black on black panels. On our demo proposal, 47 LG320 black on black panels. Now, whatever I change in this live proposal, my customer or my rep proposal as a sales rep, if I click on this menu and I come to my equipment, and then I want to change from an LG320 to a Silfab 300, when I click update on this side, it's going to update my customers automatically. So let's click into this and we'll watch this change for us. Just like that. So as a customer, I don't have to click on anything. I don't have to refresh. It just automatically changes it. And in the same way, say one of the features I want to show you anyway is this edit button. And this edit button allows you to click on this, and then what we can see is the rooftop with all of the panels on it that could possibly be used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate some on this Western array just for kicks and giggles. Let's go ahead and put on these panels here. We'll create this array. I'm actually going to take those off so it's a nice 12 panel, make it 14, 16. So we've added all these panels, and once I hit save and I go over to my customers, they're going to see that exact same thing automatically without changing anything. So this link portion, any change you make as a rep, the idea is that you can send the customer this link, you can call them on the phone, and then you can say, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, let's walk through this together. Keep in mind, everything I change on my end is automatically going to change on your end, so you can keep up with me exactly. And then any changes or requests that they make, you can quickly change, and they're going to see that immediately without that refresh. So keep in mind, you're going to come here, share/present, enable that presentation mode, and then send them that copy, and then they'll be able to keep up with you. I'm going to deactivate these panels really quick just to show you how quick and easy it is to kind of edit these panels. Just click them all off, hit save, they're gone, and then they're gone again. So very, very easy to use. I'm going to click out of that, and we'll come into this section again. Scrolling down here, we have our production and consumption graph. Let me turn off a couple adders really quick. We have our production and consumption graph. So this would be that information that you submitted on steps 1, 2, 3 when submitting for a proposal. This information is displayed here, your usage information. What's really neat about this, and as I was saying with the submission process, if you were to submit one of those guesstimate versions where you're entering the annual usage or the monthly bill, it might not be 100% accurate. So when you get to the customer's house, what you're going to want to do is, get their actual usage and then input it in. To do that, it's very, very quick. We'll click on the month of May. So if we click on May, that's going to actually open up this usage change box, and we're going to be able to change May's usage to whatever we want. So say we want to change it to 1600. Click update, and that'll change that. Click on June, we can change that to whatever we want. We'll say 1700. So as you come in here, it's really, really easy to change it month by month. And you'll notice that our offset will change as well. So if we're looking at this here, we click on edit, we can see our offsets at 102. Now, if we were to say, we'll spike this up to 2500 and get some decent usage out of it, and we come back up here to edit, we can see now we're at 99. So that offset will inversely be affected by what you put into the system. So we'll click 2000 again, come back up here, we should be about 101. Perfect. Now, you might be thinking it's kind of tedious. Say, for instance, you were to put in 10,000 kilowatt hours used, per year. You get to the customer's house and they were way off. It's actually a pretty decent-sized house down there in Vegas. Maybe he owns a casino, and he uses quite a bit more energy. So you're thinking, man, I don't want to go through an update and add, maybe he has 20,000. You don't want to go up and figure out where to add 10,000 to each of these bars. We have a solution for that. So over here on energy consumption, if you click on these words, and the biggest thing I'll point out is that there is not any kind of indication that this is a hidden feature. But if you click on energy consumption, it's going to pull up your annual assumption tool. And right here where it says annual usage, if you needed to change this to 30,000, we think, oh no, we need to size our system up. That's not going to produce 100% offset. Click on edit and we'll see it didn't. We're at 68. So let's add these panels back in here. Let's keep this array nice and neat. So you can come back in here, size your system up to get to 100% offset. Once you're there, you can go back to your pitch, talking with the customer. We'll add these two. You're at 100%, hit save, erase on there, and then you're ready to scroll back down and continue your pitch. So very, very easy to edit and adjust that. Down here in this section, we'll once again see our offset bubble, and then your proposal may or may not have adders on the proposal. It really depends on owner preference, but you can put adders on the proposal here. To turn them on, all you simply do is click them on or off. Some adders may have more advanced features as well. So say, for instance, these LED lights. If I click on these, it's going to ask me how many lights I'm going to give them, and then it's going to charge them $20 per light. So if I click on this, it says how many lights. Let's say we're giving them 10. So that'll add in a nice $200. Hit save, and then that's added automatically into my bill, into my monthly payment, into my federal ITC. So we'll automatically add it to everything. In your side menu under adders, you'll also have even more adders. So if I click on this, we see that I've got 6 different adders built in here. Your company has customized these to whatever they want them to be, so yours will look different than mine, but they essentially all function in different ways. So you've got roof work, critter guard. If I click on roof work, this will let me just enter in any amount I want. If I click on critter guard, it will automatically add in 10 cents per watt. Mounting adders could show something like a list where each part of this list will have its own price, so on and so forth. So they work a number of different ways. The biggest thing is to talk with your sales manager about how they want these to be used in your specific pitch. I'll click on energy efficiency for an example we'll go through here in just a minute. The next thing we have is kind of this section here. What this will show, starting at the top left corner, is your customer's current utility bill. So this will be what they're currently paying for utilities. We see this number listed here, $323. This graph, if you grab this slider, you'll be able to show them 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years into the future of utility bills. So we look at a customer like this, they're paying $323 versus a solar system where it'd be $321. They may say, oh, it's not enough savings. You can quickly say, well, in 5 years, you'll be paying, about $400, and then in 25, you'll be paying $861 when your system will actually be paid off and you've got free energy. So kind of a great little sales tool in there. If you click on this 323 or this 0.129, again, 323 or 0.129, clicking on either one of these numbers will open up your utility rate override tool, and this will allow you to actually change your utility bill or your kilowatt hour rate. So say it's 323, say we want to change it to 340. 340, update, that will change that bill to 340, and more importantly, that will edit your 25-year savings to reflect that amount. If we want to change it back to 323, simply come back in here, 323, enter, and we're done. So very, very quick and easy to change that utility bill. On the flip side, you have your solar payment. Ours is currently $321, and we've got a remaining bill of $46, probably because we're barely over 100, so we're not doing much export credits. If we were to click down here, so this payment will correspond with our current loan option. So I am on an EnerBank 20-year 499 SAC loan. One really cool thing I'll show you about these SAC loans is you can actually show the customer if they were to apply more or less money to their loan, what would it do? So pretty neat to be able to show them savings if they were to apply different amounts to their loan. I'm going to change loan options. So to change loan options, and one of the beautiful things about Solo is that anything the customer wants to see or anything you want to show the customer, a couple clicks and about 2 seconds later, and you can show them anything you want to show them. So if we're at this $304 payment right now for this EnerBank loan, I click on this gray box here. This is going to pull up any loan option that my company's loaded for me. And so say I want to show them a Sunlight 25-year 449. Great, click on it, and the proposal will automatically configure to show them that payment, that ITC, those savings. Everything will reconfigure automatically. So as we click on these, we'll be able to see all these different savings factored in immediately, and all the different loan options change as well. So it makes it very, very easy to show the customer all these different options. We'll choose this LoanPal 10-year 299 just because that has it's got a high monthly payment, but it has very favorable 25-year savings. What's really neat at this point is you can do a couple things. First things first, maybe the customer's looking at this 464 and just thinking, man, that's way too much money. As a rep, how can you compensate for that? You want to maybe drop the price a little bit, maybe take 10 cents off and see if you can kind of lure them in to close the deal. Super easy. If you click on this 464, it's going to open up your system pricing tool. You can also access this in your side menu and click on pricing. And this will show you your base price per watt, any adders you have in there, and then any other items. And then what this is going to do is this is going to total your price per watt, and then it's also going to give your final system cost and your loan payment monthly. So say for instance, we're at $295 base right now. Say I want to change it to $285. I just quickly type in $285, hit save, and then that will adjust my monthly payment and adjust my savings as well. Maybe the inverse, maybe you want to pitch them on, maybe you want to get closer to, we'll say 50,000 in 25-year savings, or 60,000. You know, so it's still a favorable deal, but you're still taking home a decent amount of money. You can easily edit that price the other way as well. So come in here, just change that price to whatever you want, and then you'll be able to edit that quickly. As we come down the proposal a little bit more as well, we can see that we have our incentives. The incentives will show the customer, you know, right now they're both checked on, meaning that they're both applied to the customer's account. Now, if we were to check these off, it will show them what their payment would be and what their savings would be without those incentives applied. So again, this is not saying you'll qualify or not qualify. Solo isn't making any statements on that. I know most companies don't make any statements on that either. That's more of a tax professional individual situation. But what this will do is say, you know, if you apply these credits to your loan, this is what your monthly payment would be, and this is what your savings would be. If you don't, this is what your payment and savings would be. You can click into your side menu and come down to incentives. If you click on incentives, this is going to open up your incentives tool. Now keep in mind, again, some companies have added custom incentives in here for money back or deal of the day or sign up now bonuses. You can have those as well. You simply just have to communicate with your sales rep or the proposal support team, and they can add those in there for you. What this will allow you to do is actually edit amounts, or you could hide incentives. So you probably never want to hide the federal tax credit. It's, you know, the largest credit. It's a great perk of buying solar. But say for instance, we wanted to imagine that this was a different custom incentive that we did want to hide. Maybe it was for military veterans and we were not talking to a military veteran. You could quickly click hide and hit update, and then it would actually just take that incentive completely off the proposal and not factor it into any savings or payment equations. If you wanted to bring it back, simply click on your side menu, come down to incentives, expand it, unhide it, update, and it's back. So as you can see, Solo is a very, very powerful tool for anything you want to change at all. In real time, you can quickly change. Current utility bill is $323. Nope, it should be $340. Quickly come in, type in $340, hit enter, you're done. Want to knock 10 cents off the price? Click on $528. $335 to $325, enter, you're done. Very, very easy. This escalation rate, maybe you want it to be 6%, 7% because you're in California. Click on your sidebar, utility escalation, 4, 6, update, done. Everything is very, very easy, very, very quick to change in Solo, so that whenever your customer says, well, what about this? What about that? What does this look like? You can quickly say, oh, yep, we'll do that really quick. Your escalation is closer to 4. Great, we'll go ahead and type in 4, hit enter. These would be your savings in a 4% escalation, versus this would be your savings in a 5% escalation. Quickly show the customer everything they want to see right then and there on your iPad, your phone, your computer, whatever you're using. Also, a really cool feature is once you're here, you know, you've got your solar payment, customer likes the savings, everything looks great, you're on a LoanPal loan. Next thing to do is you want to qualify for credit. With Sunlight and LoanPal, we have an API integration built in. We are building that out currently for Dividend and Mosaic. So I just want to say that again so we're all clear, is that Sunlight and LoanPal, this integration is live now today. With Dividend and LoanPal, it should be live here in the next 1 to 3 weeks. What this integration does is that when you're on a loan for Sunlight or LoanPal and you are ready to qualify them for credit, you don't have to log in anywhere, you don't have to leave this page, you don't have to do any extra work. You simply click on qualify, and this will pull up LoanPal's credit qualification portal right here in the proposal, easy as can be. This is going to pull in all the customer's information over here on this left-hand side. You'll see the phone number over here as well as the email. You'll have to enter, agree to the credit check, click on submit, and then you'll have a credit decision back in about 10 seconds. This ready to submit will then change to approved, approved with conditions, or denied, and then you'll be able to take it from there. If they are approved or approved with conditions, another button will appear right here that says send loan docs. You'll be able to click on that and it will send the customer to their email. It'll email the customer their loan documents right then and there from LoanPal for this specific loan option that you're selected on. So once again, say we were to click on Sunlight, qualify, we'll see now that we're in the Sunlight Financial Portal. If we click on LoanPal, qualify, we're in the LoanPal portal. So that is live today. It is synced up to almost all of our customers. If you have LoanPal or Sunlight and you're not synced up, please reach out to support and they can get you set up. One of the things that we're able to do is if you're selling cash deals, you can click on this, come down to cash, and we have an integration to actually allow you to collect payment right here in the proposal in real time. So if you want to click on Pay Now, you could actually just click Pay Now, and then you could pay in full and actually take a credit card or an ACH right here in real time from the customer. Or you could do a payment plan and you could do 3 dates, 2 dates, and you could say first amount we're going to pay $40,000, and the second amount we see our remaining $32,375, $32,375, oops, 375, and then we're going to go ahead and click next, and then we'll take a credit card, put that in, hit submit, and then it will process that payment plan for you. So very, very easy to do. I forgot to mention as well that you can choose your payment dates for those dates. But this is a really great integration. If you want that integration, it is free to have. Just let your owner know and then have your owner reach out to the sales rep, to their sales rep, and we can get that synced up for you. As we scroll down, a lot of this proposal from here on out is not as dynamic as the rest. So we'll just kind of breeze through this. This is going to show your cash price minus your rebates and incentives, so you'll get your net system cost. This page here is going to go over the savings. If you get solar, you'll have a flat, predictable payment versus the alternative of rising energy costs over time, including your escalation rate. Excuse me. This will be your staying with a utility company versus switching to solar. The difference is your 25-year savings. This will, and what I'll point out here is you can see here that this blue represents your utility costs and the green is your solar costs. You'll notice we have a blue block up here, and what that is this remaining utility bill right here. What that will factor in is we're at 105% offset. So say, for instance, we were to put more panels up here to get more of an offset to produce more energy export credits in hope that our system will save us more money over time. Let's hit save. We'll see that this bill, this bill's now -4, seeing all the credits that we've made. We'll notice here that our blue is much less now, and our savings will actually go up. And that's because this proposal will know each specific export rate for utility companies across the country, and it also plugs in and factors in your system degradation. So based on the panels and inverter you've selected, as your panels and your system degrades over time, the customer will become more dependent on the grid once again. So if you match them up with just 100% offset, you have to figure within 10, 15, 20, 25 years, the degradation on that system year over year will lead to a slightly increased utility bill. And this system will factor that into our savings as well as our production. So you can increase this to mess with energy export credits if you want to make sure that this is a more favorable situation for your customer. Now we'll notice switching to solar, the all-in is 79,778. If we were to edit this again, and we're going to take off all of these eastern panels really quick. With these all off, we're still at 108% offset. I think we added these two south as well. We'll see now that our all-in cost is about 96. So would have saved them about $20,000 to give them more of an energy export credit and create a bigger system. So keep that in mind when you're selling, that this will allow you to kind of mess with this and run with hypothetical situations as well. Down here with the facts, this will go over kind of your feel-good facts is what I like to call them. If you get CO2, or excuse me, if you get solar installed on your roof, not only are you helping yourself, lowering your energy costs and saving your utility bills, you're also saving the environment. So you'll offset this many gallons of CO2 emissions, which is the equivalent of planting this many trees, and then you'll also add equity to your home. Down here, this will go over the process for getting solar. Excuse me. So you'll see steps 1 through 7. Keep in mind your company can edit these steps. They can edit this page, so this may look different for you. Last but not least, you have your proposal details page. And very simply, this is just going to say this is your current utility situation, what the customer is using and paying. This is what a system would produce for you in terms of production. And then this is how much it would cost to get solar on your roof. We're on a cash deal, so we can see it's just $72K out the gate. Let's switch to a finance deal. We'll do this, I think we're on the Loan Pal 10-year. Come back down here, and then we can see our total loan amount, APR, loan term. It'll factor in a bit more. If we click on our arrow, we've got a few more things we can kind of mess with. So this rate plans, this will allow us to choose pre and post rate plans. So if you're in a company, or excuse me, if you're in an area that can take advantage of pre and post rate plans, you can quickly click on this and show the customer PDF. That will just simply, we'll click on it, let that think for a minute. It'll download that here in just a second. That's going to export this proposal to a PDF and then allow you to do whatever you want with it. So it is a live PDF. You could download it, you could share it, you can send it to the customer, you can store it on your computer, whatever you want to do with it. And then again, we'll touch on this share proposal thing. You're going to want to share this with the customer ahead of time and enable presentation mode. If you are working with a customer, you'll want to make sure to do that. Send them that first so that they can see those live updates as you're changing them. Otherwise, you can just click send email or send text, and that will automatically send the customer this proposal, but a locked view only version. Looks like our download's ready. Go ahead and open this up. We can see our proposal, nice and neat, chopped up into 9 even pages. So you can see here, this is exactly what it would do. Chop that up for us, and then we can share it with the customer. Last but not least, we have our utility bill info. And what this will do is this will show you the pre and post bill, January through December for the customer. We can see here before solar versus after solar, what your utility bill would be. What you can also do is you can click on January, February, March. You can edit, or not, excuse me, not edit. You can view any of these months here and just see kind of, the export credit, what their final bill would be, all that stuff. So you'll be able to see all that information. If I click on this X, we'll exit out. Oops, excuse me, I didn't want to actually click on that. I wanted to click on, there we go. So we're back to the proposal. So that will really cover the proposal as a whole. What it is it's really a very, very valuable sales conversion tool. So keep in mind that with the tool that's this dynamic, being able to change all these things in real time, is whenever a customer presents any what if or I want to see situations, you can quickly change this to accommodate anything they ask for by simply clicking on things. And keep in mind again that anything I've shown you that you don't have on your proposal, it may be set up that way specifically from your owner, which is something that they want it that way for a reason. But if there's anything that you want on here that you might not have, you can always talk to your owner and we can accommodate that. So just let them know, or they can reach out to proposal support and we can go ahead and we can make that happen for you. What I'll do now, let me see if this is going to let me log in. See if I can remember my password. I might have forgotten it. If I can't get in here. Nope, I've forgotten it. So I apologize about that, and I'm not sure why this chat is not working for YouTube. YouTube might have an error. But yeah, so what we're able to do is, we've kind of gone through everything with the proposal. One thing we can also do is an integrated documents closing service. So if we click on our side menu and come down to docs request right here, what we do is your owner would send us their installation agreement. And then what we do is we build out a custom template for you in our DocuSign account so that whenever you're ready to close a deal, we can make this really, really easy on you. So if you're sitting there with the customer and they're like, hey, you know, this sounds really great, let's get signed up for solar right now, you can click on Docs Request, and it will pull up this Docs Request portion right here in the proposal. You would just choose who's the name on the utility bill, homeowner, who's the installer. You click on installer, type in your account number and your meter number, and then what you're able to do is then just click Request Docs. In about 30 seconds, you'll get those documents in your inbox ready to sign, and then it will forward on to the customer right after that. So this is a really, really great service to be able to request docs immediately. It automates that process. It will automatically send your net metering and your interconnection documents and just make everything super easy for you and for your customers so you can just quickly close them and move along. So that's really it for today. That's kind of the proposal in a nutshell, all the features and tools within. The biggest takeaway from this is that Solo is a really great tool for selling virtually while we're kind of going through this pandemic together. If you click on this menu, come down to share, you can enable presentation mode and then send a text or send an email. And then everything that you change in the proposal will auto update and live change on your proposals, on your customer's proposal without them having to refresh or change or view a different screen. So a very, very valuable tool to be able to call them up, sell them, and still pitch them online. Most states are still allowing installs, so selling should still be going on. Anyway, I appreciate your time. Solo really appreciates you being one of our partners and working with us. We love being able to provide you proposals, docs, and CAD and permitting. It's been really great. So please reach out to our proposal support team if you have any questions. Reach out to your sales rep if you have any questions. We're always here, more than willing to help. Again, I appreciate your time. Thank you guys all for joining. We'll go ahead and end the stream now.